No, work on them today.
Fine, fine, fine. All right. Once you find time, please finish them.
Yeah, sure, sure.
Okay. So let me take you. So we shall see break and continue statements. Yes. Break statement. Okay. So the break statement in Java programming language has two usages. That is, when the break statement is encountered inside a loop is immediately terminated, and the program control resumes at the next statement following the loop. That is one usage. Second one is it can be used to terminate a case statement in the switch case statement. So how do we use this break is break followed by semicolon. Here you can see the control begins here. Conditional code based upon the condition it executes. So here if the condition is true then it executes. So like this if you are using a break then the code will be the block would be terminated and it comes like this. So here you can see a small example break. I'll write a sample for you. New class break with main method. So what I'm doing is I'm going to write a for loop here. I'm going to write numbers I equals to 10 to I less than equals to 20 I plus plus system.out.println next for yes OUT. I'm just printing I. So if I execute this, it will print the number from 10 to 20. Yes, you can see it is printing numbers from 10 to 20. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to I'm going to mention an if condition. In this if condition, if I double equals to 13, so what I am doing is I'm just 13 unreachable code. I see here. Look here. When I equals to 13, it prints 13 and it will come out of that. Here you can see. So what is happening here? I equals to 10, 2 less than 20. So what I am doing is I am checking whether 10 equals to 13. No, then this statement block will not be executed. Then 10 becomes 11, 11 less than 20. So 11 equals to 13. No, it's false. So this will not execute. Similarly, 11 becomes 12. 12 is less than 20. Yeah, 12 equals to 13. No, so this block will not be executed. Now 12 becomes 13. 13 less than 20. Yes. Now 13 equals to 13. Here it's 13 and then breaks. Then for rest 14, 15 and so on, this loop will not be executed. So when I equals to 30, only then this block out statement is executed. In this block it just prints and it comes out. So it is something like if I put this above here, observe this. Now the result is 10, 11, 12 and when it is 13 it's breaking. So I'll do that. So it's printing 10, 11, 12, 13, then it is breaking. Mentioning that when I equals to 13, break statement is encountered in this loop and the rest of the execution is terminated. That's what is mentioned. Whenever break statement is encountered by JVM in loop execution, immediately the loop gets terminated. So that's about break. Then let me take something about continue. Continue. So continue keyword can be used in any of the loop control structures. It causes the loop to immediately jump to next iteration of the loop. That is, in a for loop, the continue keyword causes control to immediately jump to the update statement. So let me write so that you can understand. So what I'll do is I will write another class with continue. Continue domain with the main method here. So what I'm doing is I am going to mention. So I'm going to write a for loop for loop 8 I equals to 1 I less than or equals to 15 I plus plus. So what I'll doing is I'm going to print I percent 3 double equals to 0. Just word out our println and print I. Observe it. So what is happening is it will print the multiples of 3. If the value of I is divisible by 3, then print. Just look here. It is going to print multiples of 3 between 1 and 15. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. So how it gets executed is for I equals to 1 and 1 is less than 15, of course true, then 1 divided by 3, is it equal to 0? No. So this will not get displayed. Then I becomes 2. So that is 1 is becoming 2, 2 less than or equal to 15. Yeah, then 2 equals 2% 3 equal to 0. No. So this will not get executed. Now 2 becomes 3. 3 less than or equal to 15. Yeah, absolutely. So 3% 3 gives 0 and 3 is getting displayed. So like this it goes on and it prints all the multiples of 3. So what I will do is I am going to write continue and with the unreachable code. What I am going to do is I will cut this, paste here, save this. So I am going to put that here. Yes, here. I will just execute this. So here, what is happening? It is printing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what I'll do is let me I'm just changing the position of the statement and execute this. Observe here what is happening. Now the result is 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10, 11, 13, 14. If you observe, multiples of 3 are skipped between 1 and 15. So let me execute, let me explain you. I equals to 1. Yeah, 1 is less than 15, right? So 1% 3 double equal to 0 is false. So what happens? This block will not be executed. Now I1 gets printed here. 1 gets printed. Then 1 becomes 2. 2 less than or equals to 15. Yes, of course. 2% 3 double equal to 0 is failing and 2 gets displayed. 2 gets displayed. 2 becomes 3. Now observe carefully. 3 is less than or equals to 15. Yeah. Is 3% 3 equal to 0? Yes. Now this continue statement gets executed. Now, so when continue statement is encountered by JVM, what happens is the rest of the statements after continue in the loop will not be executed. That is why 3 is skipping over there. Instead, 3 becomes 4, 4 less than or equal to 15, of course true, and 4% 3 double equal to 0 is failing, and 4 is being displayed. So likewise, 5 and 6 get displayed, 5 gets displayed and 6 will not be displayed because 6% 3 is equal to 0. Continue statement gets executed and rest of the statements after this continue gets ignored and JVM will take to increment of the loop. So that is how the continue statement affects the Java program execution. Once the continue statement is encountered by JVM, the rest of the statements in that block will be ignored. Instead, the compiler will get to increment of the loop, that is update of the loop, and then continue execution. So that is about continuous statement. So we have ternary statement. Let me write ternary demo. Main method, finish. So ternary demo. So how this ternary operator works? So the thing is, let me write the syntax of ternary demo. Ternary operator here. me search for control structures. So where it is missing? Right, I'll write that ternary operator syntax here. It is something like expression 1 question mark expression 2 colon expression 3. So this is evaluated. This is evaluated. If this expression is giving the value true, this gets executed. If this expression 1 is giving a value false after evaluation, then this gets executed. That is, it is something like a if-else block. So if-else block can also be mentioned as ternary operator. So let me write an example here. So what I'm doing is I am just creating. So create string positive equals to positive. Similarly, string negative equals to negative. So here what I'm doing is I'm taking a number int number equals to 10. I'm going to check this number. If, number greater than 0, then greater than 0 it is positive. So what I'll do is positive, else negative, and I'm going to hold that result somewhere here. It's string result equals negative cannot be resolved to a variable. negative spell mistake. Okay. Now here I'm going to display system.out.println. The result is result. So what I'm going to check, 10 is a positive value, of course. So 10 is greater than 0, yes, then this gets executed. This positive, what is the value present here? This that goes into this result, and here it prints positive. Yes. Similarly, I say minus 10. Minus 10. So num, that is minus 10 greater than 0, is false. So this expression get evaluated, and this has negative value in it, and it is just negative. The result is negative. So this is how it gets executed. So the thing is, this is the syntax. So where number is greater than 0, I'm going to check whether a number, given number is positive or negative. So if positive number, that is number greater than 0, this gets evaluated. This has a value positive, so it prints positive. If this is false, this gets executed. That has a value negative, and that gets into this result. I am going to print the result is so and so result. So that's all about control structures. So I want you to execute those control structures, referring to the PDFs also. Similarly, let me open few more PDFs and I'll show you, and I want you to execute that. They are talking about operators in Java. So just a minute. Arithmetic operators, relational operators, and logical operators, and assignment operators, basic operators. So let me, yes. So here you can see. So there are various operators available in Java. So we will be looking into them. So arithmetic operators, relational operators, logical operators. So you can see here arithmetic operators. So plus, minus, star, division by, then modulus operator, increment operator, and decrement operator all together comes under arithmetic operation. And relational operators, something like a number greater than, greater than, less than, so double equals to, not equals to, and greater than, less than, greater than equals to, less than equals to, all these are examples under relational operator. So I'll show you the PDFs here. I want you to execute. So logical operators, that is and, or, not, are logical operators. So this is assignment operator, that is equals sign. Similarly, let me arithmetic operators. Here there is an example and I want you to execute this sample. So in the main method, there are ABCD values declared, and here goes the summation, subtraction, multiplication, division, and modulus division, then modulus division between C and A, incrementation operator, incrementation, decrementation operator. So I want you to execute this sample. Similarly, I want you to execute other examples like relational operator. Yes, relational operators as well. So relational operator. So just two values are declared, A and B, and we are going to check whether it is A is equals to B, comparison, A double equals to B. So if it is, then it prints true. You can see here. If it is, then it prints true. If not, then it is false. Of course, A 10 is not 10 equals to 20 is false. Similarly, the result. So 10 is not equal to 20. Yeah, of course, true. 10 greater than 20, false. 10 less than 20, yeah, yes, true. Then 20 less than, greater than equals to 10, of course, true. And 20 less than or equals to 10. So here you can see false. So the results also are seen here, and I want you to execute this sample, and another is logical operator. Logical operator. So these logical operators, when you are working out, you have to refer to the truth tables which you worked out maybe in your school education. So here you can see A and B are two Boolean values, true and false. So what happens? A ampersand B, A and B, and A are B and A and B not equals. So I want you to refer to truth tables and I want you to execute this at your end. I'll share this PDF with you and I want you to execute the same and let me know once you finish execution. Okay. Then let me check. So let us see something about strings. Strings. So though we have used the strings in our basic examples, now we are going to explore what strings are. Strings are classes in Java. They are present in java.lang package. So we represent a group of characters that are enclosed in double quotes. So those are known as strings. Strings in Java are classes, and particularly strings in Java are final classes. It means we cannot inherit those classes. And another important property with the string is they are immutable. It means we cannot change them. I'll explain you by example what this immutability is. So I'll open a notepad, paint application. So I say string str equals to double quotes India semicolon of course. So what happens inside JVM when this statement gets executed? If you refer back to our object creation, I have told something like a remote control, and an object. So which is having a value India. Then a mapping towards it. Yes, this is the mapping. And the remote control name is str of course. Yes, this is what happens when I create string str equals to India. Now what I'll do is I'll create uh, what I am doing is to this str plus I am just appending India with Pakistan. So what happens in JVM? We already have India here. Look here, we already have India, and here it should get appended here, right? Because I'm going to use the plus operator, and this should happen India, Pakistan like this. But internally, what happens is the India string is immutable, means you cannot change. In that case, this India plus Pakistan, that is India Pakistan, a new object would be created. So I say Control Z, here a new object gets created. Remote control Then, so a new object gets created here, and let me write a new object gets created, India, Pakistan, India, Pakistan, and yes. So as of now, it is a new object is created over there with value that is India, Pakistan. So the thing is, the previously existing India, I mean this, will not get modified because it is immutable. Instead, a new object gets created, India, Pakistan. That's what happens with this. Now what I'll do is I go create. So what I'm doing is string str2 equals to India, I say. So what happens? So what happens is, so assume this portion, whatever I am working out, let me draw. This portion, whatever I am working out, is a memory area, what we call heap memory area. So Java objects reside in heap memory area. So here, in this heap memory area, I have created a string str2 equals to India. So in this case, a new remote control with str2 str, that is India, with this India, and a mapping. So a mapping to this. So this is str2 remote control. So this is what should happen. But JVM will not do this. Instead, what happens is JVM has a string constant pooling mechanism. Java string constant pooling mechanism. According to this mechanism, what happens is JVM will look for this India object where str2 has created. Is India object already existing in the pool of objects? Yes, you can see India is already existing. In that case, what happens is JVM is going to create another remote control with the name str2 str2 str2, and this remote control is again passed to, mapped to the same object. It means if you see str as well as str2, both are now mapping to same object. So this is what happens internally in JVM. So it looks the constant pool. If already such a object exists, then the new remote control will be mapping to that the existing object in the heap memory. Okay. this is what happens with string constant polling mechanism, and I'm going to compare this. So let me store this. String constants in memory. So I'm going to compare these two strings. Compare these two strings is done two ways. So let me write here comparison. So I create a string str equals to India. Similarly, I have done string str2 equals to India. And I'll say string str3 equals to capital India. Now what I'm going to do is comparison can be done one way, that is using double equals to operator. Second, using equals method. Equals method. So we'll see both the comparisons. So what happens when you use double equals to operator comparison? So this double equals to operator will check whether the two remote controls are pointing to the same object. Yes or no. If yes, it returns true. If no, false. So here you can see str and str2, both the remote controls are mapping to one object. That's what I have seen here. str and str2 remote controls are mapping to the same object. So when I write here, if str double equals to str2, then the result is true because both are mapping to the same object. Now I say if str double equals to str3, you can see str3. str3 capital INDA. So capital INDA is different from small INDA. So str3 new remote control new object are created in heap memory. So obviously str and str3 comparison will result to false. False. Are you able to follow? Any doubt with this comparison?
Yeah, it's fine.
Good, fine. Then what happens? Equals method comparison. Equals method actually will check for the contents present in the string. That is, if str dot equals str2, then the result is, you can see both the contents are equal, of course, so it will be true. Similarly, suppose if I compare str and str3, both the contents are different. One is small INDA, the other one is capital INDA. So it will give false as result. So that is how the comparison goes. One is double equals comparison. Double equals to always will check for the remote control, are they mapping to same object or not. Whereas dot equals method will look for content present in it. How the strings are present, the group of characters, how they are present, uppercase, lowercase. Sometimes if you want to use equals ignore case, then case would be ignored. Of course, equals method will look for content present in the string, and double equals to method will look for comparison. So that's, and I'll tell you the second way of creating the strings. Maybe we shall continue tomorrow. It's 7:22 my time. I want to get ready to my day work, and we shall meet the same time tomorrow. Is that okay?
Okay.
Fine. See you tomorrow all.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay,
Bye.
bye.